I call Piraparani. Tēnā koe.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Speaker, tēnā no tātou I te whare. Tēnā hoki koutou ngā manuhiri I tai mai nei I te tautoko te pire. Ki te atu I a koutou, harakau I mohena, te nuinga I a koutou, engari ngā hunga I mohena, a koro me tana hoa rangatira Mavis, nā reira tēnā koutou. Tēnā hoki koutou I hāpaingia te kaupapa o te pire nei, kia haka whiriwhiring ia tātou I roto te whare pāremata I te rānei. Nā reira tēnā koutou. Tēnā hoki e te whaia o te tuahine a Joe. Ngā mihi hoki ki a koe, engari arohanau ki tō tamahine, e noho ana ki I tērā taha, ko tāna taha tika I tēnei taha, kahatia. Engari ngā mihi hoki ki a koe e te whaia. Mr. Speaker, I want to first of all congratulate the people of Rangitāne Tūmairā, Wairarapa, Tāmaki, nui-ā-Rua claimants for bringing their claim to this stage. Although we have some way to go before everything is completed, but I think it's worth acknowledging those who have made the effort, and I'm sure against some strong criticism within their own iwi to this settlement. I also want to reiterate the point that was made by the Minister, that this settlement will not fully compensate the iwi. And it's no different from all other settlements that have been concluded in this House. And for whatever reason, that is the reality of claims, sir. And I just want to have that put on record, given that there are members in the wider community who are very critical of these settlements. They think that Māori are getting more than what they are entitled to, and yet if they read the history of the claims and the reasons for making those claims, then I'm sure their own opinion will change. But then there will be others within the community. It doesn't matter how many facts you present them, they will still have a contrary view. And so I support the notion of this bill being referred to the Select Committee, because it will give the opportunity for members of the iwi, particularly those who might not support the settlement in its present form. And so it will give the opportunity of the committee to hear the background for their dissent, if any, and the rationale for it, and whether or not those concerns can be addressed. I just want to run over some of the details of the settlement itself. And in so doing, I note that in terms of the area of interest, it is the second largest land area behind that of Ngai Tahu. So that just goes to show that the responsibility that those who have carried this bill to this stage have the size of the load that they've had to bear. And just by way of explanation, the area that is covered in this settlement extends from the north of Dannevirke to Mākaramu, near Porangahau, down to Kirai, which is Cape Palliser, and encompasses the wider Wairarapa and Tāmaki nui-ā-Rua regions. So there in itself, Mr. Speaker, gives you an indication of the land mass in which this iwi is certainly responsible for. The settlement summary describes a series of land transactions, including public work takings, by which Rangitāne or Manawatu, who had initially encouraged European settlement and enjoyed considerable benefits from rents and trade, became virtually landless. Today, approximately 2% of the region is owned under a Maori land title. And the settlement includes the vesting of 8 sites in Rangitāne, and under other arrangements, the vesting of another 5 sites, one of which, Pukaha, or Mount Bruce is to be gifted back to the Crown. And again, I want to remind the wider public of New Zealand that this is just a mere example of the generosity of what iwi claimants make to our community. The settlement also includes the establishment of and provisions for participation in the Manawatu River Advisory Board and the Wairarapa Moana Statutory Board. Now, I just want to extend the comments made by the member from the Green Party in terms of Maori contribution to our environment. And I have no doubt that as part of this settlement, that the contribution of the iwi to the care of the Manawatu River and any other of its tributaries will certainly be an asset to the wider community. Mr. Speaker, the financial redress is not too bad, but could have been better, but it includes interest, less any on-account payments and commercial redress values. And I won't go into detail as to what those on-account payments were, but suffice to say that they were included in the overall quantum to meet the financial redress under this claim. There was also a right to purchase some Ngaumu forest land and some commercial sites in the Treaty Settlement Land Bank, and right of first refusal over some properties for 174 years. And I know that there has been some discussion about that length of period, particularly within the Maori Affairs Select Committee. And I'm sure that if we as Māori continue our oral tradition, then you can rest assured that the Māori partner in this treaty settlement will certainly not forget this commitment even after 174 years. So it's important that that becomes a topic of discussion within iwi circles, but it would be certainly helpful if the wider community also kept a record of that commitment. Mr. Speaker, like all other iwi, there's been trials and tribulations that the negotiators have had to endure in negotiating this settlement. And I'm sure that both parties know that that it could have been more, but they would have liked to have increased the value, the quantum of the settlement, but for various reasons haven't been able to do so. And so in that respect, we have to acknowledge the generosity of the iwi in accepting the terms that have been offered them. Mr. Speaker, I commend the bill to this House. Kia ora.
Kia ora.